Alright, so guys, I'm back again with another vlog, and this one is going to take a couple of days, so we're going to install a certain part. You have people out there who have done it, but I don't really see anyone talking about it, so are giving you a test run. Unfortunately, I didn't do a video or a pull with the current part I have in, which is the final drive. I'm going to change the final drive that I have into this car from 4.7 to 5.3 with the current gear ratio. That is the stock one from the OEM from the factory that comes with this car. In the future, I will do a 6-speed gear change, but for the time being, I'm going to stick with the gear ratios that I have, or the gear setups that's currently in the gearbox or in the transmission. Let me show you the final drive that I got. Alright, so this is the final drive that I'm going to be installing in the transmission, which is a 5.3. Nothing special really, it's just the only difference is the amount of gears that's on the counter shaft. I think it's less. I don't remember the amount teeth or gears, but it's less than the 4.7. It's less than the 5.1. As the number of gears decrease, I think that's how the final drive increases. And seeing as I'm installing this counter shaft, I also have to install this to go with it. Okay, so seeing that I'm installing this 5.3 counter shaft, I also have to change the ring gear to match it, because even though this is identical to the 4.7, it doesn't work with the ring gear for the 4.7. So you have to get the 5.3 ring gear to go with it. So that's it. 5.3 ring gear, 5.3 final drive. So I have this. I have the counter shaft. I recommend, once you're installing a different counter shaft, always get a brand new bearing. Recommend it to change our bearings, but in my case, I'm just going to change this one. Going to be installing this for the 5.3 final drive setup. This is going to take more than a day, because when I pull the transmission, I'm going to have to dismantle the transmission or gearbox, move the final drive, then after removing the final drive, I'm going to have to remove the final drive, go to a machine shop to get the gears pressed off the counter shaft and press back on to do the swap with interchanging from the 4.7 to the 5.3. Then come back, try to assemble back the box or the transmission to get it back into the car. So that's why I said it's going to take more than a day, and I have the time, so why not? So guys, let's get some work done, because it's a lot of work. This is where we're at right now. The sleeve over here. I remove the sleeve, the cable, the shifter cables, all the other connections, speed sensor, reverse, everything. The mount right now, I removed that. Unbolted all the bolts from underneath. So under the undercarriage section, I removed those bolts. So all that's left to remove now is that bolt right there and this one right there. And then after removing those, now I'm just going to take off the transmission, and that's about it. Everything from underneath, remove all the bolts, every bolt. So just to remove the transmission now, take it off the engine. Right, so just like that. This is our main work here now. The transmission itself, or the gearbox. I installed this B series throat bearings because I realized the K series bearings, they tend to go bad very quickly. So I went with the B series and still feel like new. So going forward, if you plan to change or install a throat bearings, or if you recently installed throat bearings and it doesn't last any time, you can just get the B series. As you can see, I have the transmission ready, the gearbox ready to be disassembled. As I said, I want to remove the counter shaft and the crown and pinion, ring gear, whichever one. So now I'm just going to remove what I need to remove to pull the box apart. So let's start dismantling this transmission. Alright, so this is now dismantled and it looks kind of different. Reason for that, let's say there's a first time for everything. That pin, that I forgot to release that when I tried to pull the box apart, and what happened was, because that pin is what locked the counter shaft on to this side of the transmission. Once the counter shaft is intact or still in this side, it's going to hold on to this, everything, and the selector, this, everything. So everything just comes off with this casing, with this half of the transmission. leaving this section. So what I'm going to have to do now is just release this pin, release that pin, and pull the counter shaft from this end. Just wiggle it out. Simple. So right now it's out. I'm examining everything, and based on what I'm seeing, everything is in good condition. That's the bearing that I told you guys about earlier, the FD2 bearing. I use that for the 4.7 also. So now that this is out, I'm just going to remove this, as I said, simple one too. Take out this counter shaft, and another day I'm going to carry it to the machine shop and interchange all gears. Remove the gears from this, put it on the new counter shaft. I'm going to remove this bearing, I'm going to remove this and put the what you call it, the ring gear, change the ring gear, put the ring gear, the 5.3 ring gear that I got onto this, put it back into the box. And also I'm going to put this aside along with this. Don't know what can happen, put them down. That's it. Pull apart, the box dismantled, not fully though, but dismantled. The hardest part is out of the way, so now it's just to clean up, remove this, interchange, and everything else is going to be here waiting for when I get back with the new counter shaft and gear assemble. Then I assemble back the gearbox and put it back in the car. So that's it for today. I'm going to continue when I do the gears interchange on the counter shaft right here. I'm going to continue, and yeah, so see you guys again.
Many months later.
Alright guys, so we're back again after a long wait. The last time I was at the same point, I was supposed to install back all these parts back into the transmission housing, but I discovered something. I thought that the 5.1 bearing would fit onto 5.3 final drive, but why was I wrong? The bearing I got, the bearing that fits, is this. This type of bearing only comes in two chassis: the 2006 to 2007 CRV manual 6-power transmission, 6-speed, and the FN2 Type R. That's what it's right-hand drive. So I don't know if you have left-hand drive CRVs that has the manual transmission, but for the right-hand drive you have a 6-speed right-hand drive that you can find this counter shaft 5.3 and this bearing. So after I did all this, I'm ready to fit up. I realized that the bearing was wrong, so I have to wait 1 month. It's approximately a month and a week since then. So now I'm going to assemble, install the transmission hopefully today. Also, if I didn't point it out earlier, you have to use the 5.3 ring gear for it. You have to use it with this, with the 5.3 counter shaft. I think the 5.1 ring gear and the 4.7 ring gear is the same. Not sure, but you have to change this also. So ring gear, bearing, and the counter shaft, and you have a little thing, a sleeve that also have to work with this. The OEM one can fit, but the OEM one doesn't carry the groove for the aisle passage. It can fit, but the 5.3 has a groove that fit. That's a groove for the aisle passage. so you have to get the 5.3 sleeve for this, because this is currently on the sleeve. The first gear and the hub and thing is on the sleeve. Alright, so now I'm going to assemble the whole thing and then carry on from there, continue from there. Also, I just got this, I just replaced this also, this boot. This one was damaged, so you know water can get in, but with this changes also. So now we just to assemble the whole stuff so I can install it back in the car and give this a test run. I've completed the assembly of the transmission. What's left now is to just install it into the chassis. So what I normally do when I complete an assembly of a gearbox, I always try to test the gears to make sure everything is working as it should. So this is what I do. Right here, I watch right here and I'll select first, rotate this, the input shaft, then second, third, fourth or third, whichever the case. So trying all the gears, fifth, R6, this feel like 6, and fifth, and finally reverse. Alright, so smooth rotation, no itching whatsoever, so that's a good signal. This every gear select, smooth, no issue. Reverse. Alright, so everything is working. So now I'm just going to install it into the DC5 so I can test it. And quick tip, I advise when anytime you're doing any gearbox job, or you plan to install a throat bearings, get the B series throat bearings. It's way stronger than the K series. B series. I think the H can work too, but this is a B series. Get that. So right now it's up, so I'm going to install the rest of the bolts so I can put up the subframe. Once the subframe is up, most of the work will be done. So next is the subframe. Next I'm going to just install the bolts, the mount, all those little stuff. Then I just install the subframe. Then after that everything would be just easy 1-2. Alright guys, we're almost finished. So all that's left now is the what's to connect up here, up top. Just to finish up top, the slave and the lines, the shifter cables and stuff, and to plug back the sensors. You have to search, the last time I lack a sensor in the transmission. So now just to finish off, so I already throw in the gear oil. What else? Connect all the mount and ball joints and the linkage stabilizer bar, connected all of that. Yeah, so as I said, the only thing left now is to just finish up top, and that would be the one that, and then I would be finished. Then, yeah. Alright guys, so that completes the installation. The only thing left right now to do is to do a test run. So I'm going to do a little pull, or post a little pull of the 5.3. Unfortunately, I didn't do a pull with the 4.7 to do a comparison, so I just going to have to just do the 5.3 and you take what you get from that. So yeah, the installation is complete, and now I'm going to do the first start. It's not an engine work, so I'm not expecting any problems. So I'm just going to do the first start now and change out and select all the gears to make sure everything is working as it should. The wheel is turning right now as we speak. So first thing, you have to hold the brake, and then you can sync your clutch, and then select all the gears. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, reverse. So working as it should. Like I said before, I'm going to do a test run, but I think that will be probably tomorrow, because now it's kind of late and the car is still on the jack. It's just, I just do this so I can just see how everything works, but I'm going to finish up, and then tomorrow now I can do a test run.
The next day.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Alright guys, so I'm currently running on the 5.3 final drive, and going to give you guys a little sample of how the 5.3 performs and what to expect if you install it with a RSX 5-speed transmission. Going to just do a little run, nothing over the top, just to show you what to expect when you install a 5.3 with a RSX 6-speed transmission. Right now I'm currently running on the, I've installed the SI6 6 gear, but well, not necessarily SI6 but the Accord 5, so I have to put that where the 5-speed was. Let me show you how right now my gear change works. I've purchased the right gear though, the SI6, so I'm going to install that in the future. In the near future I'm going to install it, but right now this is my gear setup. Ignore the bag. So it's like this: first, second, third, fourth. If I go fifth, this fifth is actually longer than my 6. So what I have to do when I go fourth, I have to go 6, which is now my 5th, then 5th, which is now my 6th. So as I said, I actually purchased the SI6, and I'm going to install that to correct this, how this shifts. Alright guys, so this is I'm currently in the 5th gear, or the 6th gear, or the long 5th, and at what is it? At 2005, that's the speed. At 2005 RPM in the long 5th with the 5.3. So that's like a 4.7. Like this comparison is this looks like when I have the 4.7 and I'm in 6th gear. This is the long 5th. So I'm going to the actual 6 to show you what speed you'll be doing at like probably 2005 RPM with the 5.3. Alright, so that's the 6th gear. That's 6th gear at 2005 RPM, and that's the speed with the 5.3 final drive. So this is like with the 4.7 before, at this RPM I would be like probably 80-90 kilo, or probably 56 miles. But with the 5.3, that's the speed. If you were to if you were to go to 3000 RPM, you're barely doing 55 or 90. This is from first to second. So guys, so as you can see with the 5.3, you see a noticeable reduction in your gear ratios. So, or increase. Well, you make the ratio shorter. With that shorter ratio, well, you get some advantages. Even though with it comes disadvantage, but you can fix that. Just install the SI6 gear and you're good to go. But with the 5.3, you sacrifice the top end speed, so you lose some top end, but you gain some torque or acceleration, so you accelerate a little bit quicker. Sometimes with the overtaking, you don't have to downshift, depending on the gear that you're in. The 5.1 would be more ideally, but I love the 5.3. Yeah, that's it guys. Thanks again for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Just go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell to get notified each time I post a new video. And thanks again for watching. Quick note, example, if you have a 5-speed transmission, you know the 5-speed ratios are a little bit longer, so with a final drive increase, you actually shorten the ratios of your gears without actually changing the gears. Something to bear in mind.